How's it going, everyone, today? And for this demo, my name is Ethan Merritz. I'm the product marketing manager. I'm joined by Dalton, and he is going to be the manager of product management for Zoom and Lumen Enablement Services. We're going to be showing a video of a new feature by Zoom called Whiteboards, which you can find under the Zoom Enterprise, Zoom Small Businesses, and they have unlimited versions there. And they also have 3 whiteboards available to use for any of our smaller packages, which are the basic version and the pro version as well. So with whiteboards, it's a good feature to collaborate together. So we wanted to show an example of how 2 people can collaborate together. And we're actually going to be talking about our other product line that we have, which is Lumen Enablement Services. But Zoom whiteboard feature is perfect for 2 people that are trying to work together in a capacity that shows some visuals, in a capacity where they can have notes and comments to each other, and they can even export this and have the ability to share it as well.
We'd like to talk about Lumen Enablement Services, which is centered around 4 primary pillars. The first one being UC&C predefined adoption services. We then have a secondary pillar around our customer premises infrastructure consulting, which helps customers leverage their on-premise infrastructure and migrate to the cloud. We have our managed UC&C cloud services, which consists of cloud SPC and TN management. And then our fourth option is Lumen SIP connected audio, which is basically the dial in and dial out capabilities for all of our meeting platforms in UC&C today. What we'd like to add is a 5th option, really around our new deployment packages. We're starting off with having deployment packages from a Lumen engineer and an implementation project manager that will help the customer configure and deploy some of our UC&C solutions that we have or are selling. In this case, we have 3 different t-shirt size options that customers can purchase from Lumen to help them onboard their UC&C solution. We have a small, a medium, and a large option. So in this case, on the website, we're going to add a new drop-down, which will then contain and detail out the components of these packages and how our implementation team is working with the customer to deploy that solution.
So through whiteboards, we were able to talk about this idea together. We were discussing both of our parts and our roles and how they come together to merge and really display this on the website. So under here, we have a few different options of ideas and interesting ways to kind of create the whiteboard and the visuals that you want, but in easy to understand format that pretty much anybody can jump in and look at. So jumping in, we're starting with the sticky notes, which we discussed and said, what are our to-dos before we jump into the meeting together, and what are things that we need to make sure that we're bringing to the table as we are going to talk about the website. So I created one of the sticky notes right here with some of my to-dos to make sure to come to the table with to talk to Dalton, and he had done the same, and we had met separately before this. So now we are prepared to jump in, kind of talk about some of the visuals that we have going on here. And what you can tell is that there's a few boxes and a few placements that we have. And this is something that we're actually going to take to our team and be able to submit and have a change on the website that's visual for everybody. So we had recorded a demo video from Lumen Enablement Services prior to this, and I have it represented right here in a block, which we have a great comment from Dalton saying that he approved of this change that we had discussed together. We want to make sure that this is on the website next to the feature and specs page. Showing through a few arrows, we're trying to bring down the diagram that we have there, the infographic, and replace it with the video that we have. I provided a link right here for the video so that he could find it, or anyone else can find it that I'm sharing with, and provided a link for the resource of the website that we are working on. So you're probably wondering how I got this done. And if you go down the sidebar right here, you can show a variety of tools that can help you accomplish this. One of the tools that I used was drawing. There's some for different shapes. There's a few for arrows as well, and text, which are pretty easy to use. One of the ones that I thought was the most helpful was the ability to add images. So if you wanted to replace the box that we had that represents the YouTube video and the link below it, I can add an image with a screen grab showing the video and what it would look like. I can drag this over to represent where it would be at when we replace it. Or if you really want to get fancy, you can put it right in the middle and just have kind of an idea of what it would look like with the thumbnail. So if you really want to get in depth and check out the YouTube channel that we have as well, I did take one more screen grab, and you can say, hey, this video came from the YouTube channel. If you want to add a little arrow right here, you can drag it over and say, this is where it came from, and kind of shows a little bit more of, okay, it came from the YouTube channel. This is the specific video we had. There's a link down there, and it's going to go right here where this infographic was. Obviously, this was in my to-do list, so I wanted to show that I was working on this, and this is going to be part of the requests that we have moving forward.
Hey, Ethan. One of my favorite things about the whiteboard is it's actually a persistent space between 2 people, and we can collaborate live, right? So if I'm a remote worker and I'm working with you as a teammate, right? Maybe it's even during the meeting or after the meeting. This whiteboard is a persistent collaboration space that sees my changes live with you, whether I'm inside a meeting or outside a meeting. It's all persistent, and we can collaborate live together. So really appreciate your time, Ethan. If anybody has any questions, you can obviously go to our Lumen Enablement Services page to read more details about these specific features and functionality. Obviously, Lumen is very heavily invested in our Zoom relationship, right? And Whiteboard is part of our current offering. As you mentioned at the beginning of the call, we offer unlimited whiteboards for anybody who has a Zoom Enterprise license or a Zoom Business license, and customers can purchase additional whiteboarding capabilities as part of our Basic or our Zoom Pro offering. So reach out to your Lumen account manager, and they'll help you get set up with whiteboards today.